Part 2 of Assessment D. Number 16. In the diagram below, triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. So what is the length of side AC? We're going to set up a proportion by comparing our ratios. So one of the ratios we can compare is from 22 versus 33. So the second triangle over the first triangle. Second over first equals second over first. So 22 over 33 equals V over 21. And that gives us just enough information to predict what the side of V is. Okay, so we're going to cross multiply and divide. 21 times 22, divide by 33, and we find that V equals 14. Number 17 is we're looking for the constant of proportionality. We find that by using y over x, assuming that this is a proportional relationship. So we're going to divide 5 divided by 1 is 5. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 15 divided by 3 is 5, and so forth. So therefore, our constant of proportionality here is 5. Number 18, what is the value of x in the following proportion? So we're going to cross multiply and divide. So 6 times 14 equals x times 21. So 6 times 14 is 84 equals 21x. Divide by 21 on both sides. 84 divided by 21 is 4. Number 19 says a store manager paid $38 for an item and set the selling price at $53.96. What was the percent markup? Anytime we're trying to find percent change, percent markup, percent markdown, or percent increase or percent decrease, those are all using this formula right here, change over original. Okay, so we're going to subtract the two numbers to find the change, find the difference in the price, dividing by the original. Okay, it was originally $38. Okay, then we subtract them. We get $15.96 divided by 38. We equal that to 0.42 when you divide in the calculator. And we swoopy to make the percentage, which is 42%. So 42% for C. Number 20. A $62 handbag is on sale for 35% off. So what is the sale price of the handbag? Okay, so we're going to multiply 62 times 0.35 to find out what the price is of the discount. So that would be $21.70, and that's how much that they did not have to pay. Okay, so we're looking for how much they did pay, so we subtract $21.70 from $62, which is $40.30. Number 21, it says Nasser invested $550 at 6% simple interest for 5 years. What was his investment worth after 5 years? So we're looking for the total here. So the first thing is to find the interest that he made for 5 years, which is principal times the rate times the time. 550 times 0.06 times 5, which is $165 within 5 years. So that's pretty great. So to find the total investment, we're going to add that to 550, which is his original investment, and he invested total $715. So for B. Number 22 says a scale model of the Statue of Liberty is 5 inches tall. If the Statue of Liberty is 305 feet tall, find the scale of the model. Okay, so I went ahead and just simplified their words into kind of an algebraic representation here. So 5 inches equals 305 feet. And this is like a unit rate. And I want the unit rate, as always, is divided by 1, is over 1. So I must need this right here to figure out how many feet are in 1 inch. So this needs to become a 1. So if I divide this 5 by 5, then I can make this a 1. Okay, so over here I did that. I want to divide both sides by 5, because if I do it over here, I must do it over here to keep it proportional. 5 divided by 5 is 1 inch, and 305 divided by 5 is 61 feet. Okay, so that gives us B as our answer. 1 inch will equal 61 feet. Okay, don't get confused with this right here because we want to make sure we're clarifying 1 inch to 61 feet. However, I am understanding of why you would have chosen D versus not just seeing this carefully, that the best answer here would be B. So just for your sake to know, for the next assessment, we'll make sure that that is more clear for your answer choice for number 22. Number 23, it says, which measurements will you be able to make with a triangle? So I went ahead and found my ranges that were all the possibilities. That kind of helps me sometimes. So if I add or subtract my two smaller numbers, I can distinguish, like, if it's in that range, like the third side must be in the range when I add and subtract. So if I go 5 plus 6 is 11. And 6 minus 5 is 1, the larger side must be between 11 and 1, and this one's not. Okay, so when I added and subtracted here, found the larger triangle must be less than 27 and greater than 3. In this case, it is. So answer would be B. Okay, and you can see how the ranges are not, or the larger sides are not within the range for the other two options. Number 24, the cross section here, if you open this square prism up and you look in the insides, you'll see your 2D shape will be a square. Number 25, this is a formula you would have to know to find this. Circumference would equal pi times the diameter. Pi times the diameter. So that is 3.14. They're giving you the diameter, which is 4, so you just multiply here and you get 12.56 meters. Number 26, use the floor plan pictured below to find the minimum number of square feet of carpeting needed to carpet the entire floor from wall to wall. Okay, so we're going to break this up here, and I broke it up right here on this dotted line. So I noticed there were some issues here that I did not have all the information. Remember that this side right here is a 29. Okay, so it's 29 feet long. So be careful there, and make sure that we can kind of use our context clues here. If I go 29 minus 19, that'll give me 10. So that side's 10. And then if I take 14 plus 7, that gives me 21 for this side. Okay, now I can multiply to find my area. So 21 times 29 is 399. 7 times 10 is 70. If I add these together, here's all my work, is 469 feet squared. Okay, so number 27, classify the angle pair. So if I'm looking at angle 1 and angle 2, they're across from each other. And that vocabulary word is called vertical. Vertical means across within this specific situation. Number 28 says identify the measure of angle X. Okay, so these are supplementary angles here because they are one side by side on a straight line. Okay, so we can subtract 180 minus 108 will give us 72 degrees. Number 29, it says, use a formula to find the volume of the prism. So V equals big B times the height, area of the base times the height. So 8 times 10 times 6. And it also gave you the formula right here, so that was nice. The answer would be 480 inches cubed. The owner of a cafe wants to add a new soup to his menu. Before he does, he wants to find out which of the 3 soup choices his customers would be most likely to order. He surveys every 12th customer who comes into the cafe on Tuesday, on Thursday, and on Saturday this week. Is this sample random or biased? This is definitely a random sample. He did a very good job at making sure that all customers throughout the week, or most customers throughout the week, have an opportunity to be surveyed. And they also asked every 12th customer. So everybody's could possibly be selected for this. So random would be a good answer for this. We could also call this a systematic random sample because it was for every 12th customer. Number 31, it says the student council polled a random sample of 7th grade students regarding their favorite flavors of ice cream. Okay, so we're going to predict here for how many it would be for 1,000 students to pick chocolate ice cream. Okay, so we're going to look at the sample versus the population. We know about the sample, which is good, and we know where we want to go. We want to know how many out of 100 will choose chocolate. So out of the sample, 10 students out of 21, I had to add here, I had to count them up, preferred chocolate. Okay, so with that prediction, or with that sample, we can predict putting X over 100, cross multiplying and divide, and we find that X would equal 47.619. And according to our answer choices, there's nothing on here that says 47.6 or it says 48 students. So we're just having to use the closest answer for this. So we're approximating and we're rounding to the nearest tenths place. I'm sorry, not tenths, tens, like a T-E-N-S. So it's approximately 50. Number 32, stem and leaf plot below shows the scores Tammy earned on her last 8 history exams. Okay, so to find the mean is what we're doing, is the average, which we're adding all these numbers up and dividing by how many numbers there are. So you have to, and you really need to do this a few times just to make sure that you're not accidentally calculating incorrectly. Maybe even add them all up about 2 or 3 times just to make sure you're doing it correctly. Because I noticed when I did it for my first time, I did not end up with 656, and I had to redo it. Okay, so 93 plus 95 plus 80 plus 82 plus 86 plus 77 plus 78 plus 65 divided by 8 numbers, because there's 8 numbers here. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, divided by 8, you'll get 82, and that is your mean. Number 33, it says, use the measures of variation and calculate the interquartile range. Okay, so we're going to take the lower quartile and subtract it from our upper quartile. Okay, so that's 8 minus 5, which is 3. Number 34, it says, look at the spinner below, which describes the probability of the arrow landing on a number less than 8. Okay, so we look at our arrow here, and there is no number greater than 8. So that means it is 100% certain that they are going to land on a number less than 8. Okay, so I'm not going over these within this video, but in the next assessment video, we will explain these questions. But for the sake of, or for the understanding that you have not learned this from us already, just go ahead and look over the answers to these and see if you can maybe draw some conclusions yourself on why these are the correct answers. And then later on, we will visit these again. Okay, so if you need to pause the screen to get these, go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down the screen so you can get the very bottom. All right, thank you for watching.